What's going on, everybody? We're going to get ready to get started in just a minute. And we got a lot to talk about, and we have a lot to get to. So it's all I got to say is this: y'all better buckle up because we are finna go on a ride. And it's it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pretty. It's just going to be the god awful truth that many of us probably don't want to hear, but you're gonna have to hear it because I mean it's there's a lot to get to, and we're gonna get right to it in just a minute. Make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Let everybody know what's going on. We're gonna go ahead and get right into this, and we're not going to waste any time because this it needs to be said basically. So we're gonna get ready to get started. In just a quick second. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started with the with TNT post game. And as y'all can see on the graphic, an extremely disappointing loss. So let's get to it.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody
What's going on, Titan Nation? How's everybody holding up? Welcome into the Truth League group. Welcome in to TNT post game. I almost said the wrong show. That's how distraught I am right now. But we're gonna ask that you do go ahead and share this show out. Go ahead and share it out to everybody. Share it out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram. Make sure y'all share the show out to everybody. Let everybody know where they can come on in and join the conversation as we talk about this very devastating 21-20 loss to the New York Giants to begin the season. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it. But again, make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also ring that bell so that way you get all the notifications. And I want to thank some of the Titan fans yesterday that I ran into. Some of them came up to me and they liked the jersey, of course. And, someone saying, aren't you the Titans and Truth guy? I'm like, that's me. And so got a couple people that decided to subscribe to the channel. So definitely do appreciate that. And we're gonna go get right into it. And we're gonna definitely talk about this game in further detail as again, thank y'all for sharing this show out. But let's, first off, we'll get into, we got the good, the bad, and not the downright ugly, but the awful. And there is a lot of that to go around. So everybody just, all I got to say is this: buckle up because I'm about to take out on a ride. DO9, what's up with you? CJ says, aye. And I said, what's up? Fire Downing now. Yep. DO9 said, disgusted with what I see yesterday. We're going to kill D. Henry. Why are we still playing this style of offense? Wasting downs. And we're going to definitely get into that. 615, what's going on? I know he did a show with Jill Nick on Fox 17. earlier today. So we're definitely going to go into that. AZ Mick, what's up? Pig Wickle. Pig Wickle say, anybody else hyperventilate? There were some disappointments. Wow, Drumstar said had a 9-leg parlay, could have won 4K. Titans screwed me. Yeah, I had a bet going on that the Titans would cover, and I had that the Packers would win, and both screwed me. I'm really mad at the Philadelphia Eagles because I had a 2-leg. I could have won almost $100. I think I did $20. I could have won $100 if the Baltimore Ravens covered and the Eagles almost covered, but the Lions backdoor covered and cost me a lot of money. So tune into the Truth League report late in a little while because I'm gonna hash out on Philadelphia definitely. As Margarita said, I had a 31-17 victory. I was wrong. Jay Porter said, "What's up?" But what's up, y'all? And we're gonna go ahead and get into this right now. But first off, losing to the Giants 21-20. Wow. There is a lot I can say about this game. And believe me when I tell you, let's just say I there are really no words to describe the game. Well, actually there is, and I'm going to get into that. But let's just go into the good, the bad, and the awful. Because believe me when I tell you, a lot of what I got to say we're going to get into. But first, let's just go ahead and get the little bit of good that we had out the way. Let's just get a little bit of the good out the way because there's so much more bad than good in this game. And I'm actually sharing this show out a little bit to some other groups that are unfortunately I'm having some issues getting with. So I'm trying to make sure um that this group gets in as well so that they're able to see it. But the good, let's get into that right away. Tannehill, you can't blame this game on Ryan Tannehill. He did not do too bad. He had a decent game, not a great game, but it was decent. It was a very decent game that he played. So I'm not going to blame Ryan Tannehill. Can't. You can't blame Ryan Tannehill for this one. Kyle Phillips made some big catches down the stretch. Even though he did fumble on on the punt, but Amani Hooker bailed him out with the interception. So Tannehill, not too bad. He threw for 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no turnovers. That's a very good thing. Phillips made some big catches down the stretch, had a very nice return to open the game. And I think he'll just get better with time. And, Landon said it. Phillips just going through a growing pain with that lost fumble. And he did. He did. He's going through the growing pain with that one. He will be fine. He will be better for that. So I definitely do agree. The pass rush. I think the pass rush is going to be fine without Harold Landry. I mean, Big Jeff had 2 sacks and a strip sack and fumble recovered by Dupree. Dupree had a sack and Rashad Weaver had 2 sacks on the day. So I just thought The defensive line as a whole played pretty well, at least pass rush wise. They were good. There's another caveat to that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. Hooker's interception, we thought would have saved the game. It nearly did. And was very much impressed with that. And I mean, we just paid Hooker some money. He well deserved. Well deserved indeed. And I know a lot of y'all are upset. A lot of y'all are disappointed. And y'all get ready for the wild ride I'm going to take y'all on. I'm going to read y'all comments and I'm going to talk about it too. So hold on. And here, Chris Frazier, look, I'm not talking bad about Tannehill today. Normally I would, but today I won't do it. Phillips better than Burks. Phillips got more targets than Burks, which I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that Burks didn't get a bunch more targets, which we'll get to. Burks had 3 for 55. Should have had 2 more. Another one, there was a pass interference that wasn't called. And then the one in the end zone, he just overthrew, but that was double coverage. And yes, I agree. A.J. Brown showed out against the Eagles. I miss him too. I thought it was a dumb decision to trade him. And I had to go back. I was on my way back here to Memphis from Nashville, and I had to make sure I wasn't crazy when I said I knew I was pissed off about that A.J. Brown trade. And I did say that. I was like, they lost a lot of fans with that trade, and I thought I had no idea what they were doing. So that's that on that. Let's see. Keisha, I'm glad you're here. Welcome in. Weaver stepped up, looked good. He did. Tremaine, what's up, sir? Derek Roberts says, sorry I'm late. Hey, you're here. And I thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that very much. We lost to the Giants. I know. I know. I know. We lost to the Giants. It's, yeah. Ah, wow. You lost to the Giants. That's just crazy, y'all. Lost to the Giants. Wow. And then Chris Fraser said, I told you we didn't need to sign Landry. Here's the thing about that. Pass rush is fine, but would be better with Landry. So, Chris, you are going to lose that fight. I don't care how you try, you're going to lose that fight. Landry being re-signed was the right decision. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Coach Sarcastic is back, boys. He is rude when we lose. Oh my God. I'm gonna let y'all go into that, Derek. I'm gonna let y'all go into that. Landon said, I gotta laugh to keep from crying. I know the feeling. Yep, that is true. So those are some of the good. Again, Tannehill, very good game. Phillips made up for the mistake, but I do agree with 615 Pod and what they were saying. You can't afford a rookie mistake every week. That's true. And shout out to my homegirl, Miss Dolly and Crystal Hayward, for this lovely tumbler. I just always have to shout them out because I love them. But that's the good. And Hooker deserved the money. So that's the good. I'm putting that up again. Lost to the Giants. Oh my God. So that's the good. Now, let's get to the bad a little bit. And then we're going to really have some fun with awful. But the bad. What's up with this infatuation for Jeff Swain? I really have no earthly idea. And Tremaine Rogers is right. He said, how does Jeff Swain have more snaps than Henry, Hooper, and Burks? And with the whole thing with Austin Hooper, that was something that was going through my mind the whole time at the game. And we're going to talk about that because I think some coaching malpractice was committed. So I have no idea what is up with this infatuation that they just have to have Jeff Swain on the field. And Vrabel in the press conference today was, because I think somebody asked him, what's going, Swain's getting a whole lot of snaps. Like, what's going on with that? And Vrabel responded saying, he's our best blocker. He's our best blocking tight end. That's why he was in there so much. I'm like, really? That's the best excuse you could come up with. He's your best blocker. That's why you wanted him in there so much. Oh, give me a break. Second part, I just don't get it. Jeff Swain sucks. He had the nice catch and run for the first down. Yes. But he dropped a surefire pass in his hands. He dropped. And those targets need to go. The couple of catches he had could have went to Hooper, could have went to Burks, could have went to Woods, should have went to one of those guys. So I don't get the effect, the love fest that the Titans have for Jeff Swain. Second, the run defense in the second half was just horrible. It was really bad in the second half. And second half, Saquon Barkley got a nice little run to the outside. Then he got the big 65-yard run that led to a touchdown. And then when that first touchdown got scored, I looked at some fans around me and I told them, the Giants believe now. They're in the game. They're in the game, and they think they have a shot. They believe they could come back and win this game. You're up 13-0. And then Saquon Barkley gets going. Brian Daboll says, even though we're down double digits, we're going to run the ball, slow the game down, and we're going to play our game. And that's what happened. The Titans ended up playing New York Giant football instead of playing their game. And so that's what ultimately cost them. Outside contain was bad. I didn't think Zach Cunningham or David Long had a particularly good day defensively. And, the run support was just not there. Just not there at all. Fulton stunk. That much is a fact. Christian Fulton had a bad day yesterday. Really bad day. Like, again, I was telling some fans, Roger McCreary and Caleb Farley, I didn't even notice. And sometimes when you don't notice somebody on the football field, that's a good thing. That is good news. I noticed Fulton quite a bit, especially on that deep pass that, he admitted he had his eyes caught in the backfield looking at Daniel Jones and let his receiver go right by him. A lot of times you play the receiver, then you play the ball. You don't be looking back. You don't be looking at the quarterback. He probably thought he had safety help, but didn't. And so, Christian Fulton, so disappointing yesterday. Extremely disappointing with that. And bad penalties on the O-line at the worst times. Aaron Brewer had 2 false start penalties. 2 holding penalties, rather. Taylor Lewan had a bad false start on the last drive. I know Nicholas Petit-Frere had a false start as well. Now, I will say this. I didn't think the O-line was too bad. I think the O-line did all right. However, the O-line, the Giants defense was without Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari. And it doesn't get any easier going forward the next 2 weeks. Next Monday night, you got Von Miller to deal with. And he's a handful. And then after that, you got the Raiders. Oh, Dad, that's right. They got Chandler Jones, who terrorized us last year. And on the other side, you got Mad Max from Beyond the Thunderdome, Mad Max Crosby on the other side. So Taylor Warren wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible. But the offensive line better understand there are better defenses coming up. And they're coming up real fast. So the penalties have got to be cut out and everything. But let me get to some of y'all comments. AZ Big said this will be Lawan's last season. We're going to find out. Landon says, unfortunately, no good replacement. Keisha says, I'm not going to get too upset because we looked even worse at the beginning of the season last year and still got the one. And everything, but we'll get to that. 615 says, I will move Fulton to the slot, McCreary and Farley on the outside. That could be interesting. Julio Jones snapped with the Bucks. He did have 3 catches, 69 yards. Did he have a touchdown? No. But A.J. Brown had 10 for 155 for the Eagles. And you're right. We should have broke their will earlier. And we're going to definitely get to that. Let's see. Yep, A.J. looking good with the Eagles. Yep. And again, I have no idea why they're so in love with Jeff Swain and not giving Hooper or Chig more passes in the passing game. Derek had a frustrated day trying to run the ball. It was a tough day for him. And for once, I did not hear this. Coach better, play better, do better. Did not hear that. Usually that's what he would say. So, I mean, it's crazy. But have I signed a petition to fire Downing yet? Well, that leads me to my next point. William Jones, what's up with you? Glad you're checking in. 12% chance of making the playoffs started 0-2. Good thing we're in the South. And that's the crazy thing. Everybody in the South lost. Jags lost. Colts and Texans tied. So technically the biggest winner in the division was the Texans. They got the tie. Although they were winning most of the game. And they choked it away. AZ made 14 combined sacks between the Bengals and Giants and lost both games. So it ain't the pass rush, which leads me to what I like to call the moment of truth. And first, I'm going to describe it simply as this. This was, and here we go, y'all. Here's the ride. Set your recorders, send it off. Here we go. This game was the most disgusting and embarrassing display I have ever seen. I think this was worse than the 59. Well, nothing will probably beat out the 59-0 loss because they just flat out didn't show up at all. But this was worse than losing 21-0 to the Baltimore Ravens in the rain that day. And Mariota getting sacked 11 times. This was the one word that just kept coming in my mind was disgusting. Disgusting, disgusting, embarrassing, humiliating, just downright disrespectful. I felt like the Tennessee Titans disrespected every single fan who came to the game. It was absolutely a horrific performance. And Jared said it best on his show today on Stillman and Company. The Tennessee Titans embarrassed themselves. They embarrassed the fans. They embarrassed Amy Adams Strunk. They embarrassed all of you. They embarrassed me. They embarrassed anybody that puts on a Titans jersey and supports this team. They embarrassed every single one of us. And yes, this loss was even worse than McNair and Eddie George jersey retirement day. Even worse than that. That one was a division game. This one is worse. You're losing to a Colts team that, yes, you're supposed to beat, but that's division. This one was, you lost to a Giants team that shouldn't have even been close to being in the game. This is a Giants team that has nobody except Saquon Barkley. And you let Saquon Barkley and freaking Daniel Jones beat you. Just outright despicable. Inexcusable how this game went. It was a fucking joke. And I'm going to be raw tonight. I'm just going to tell it like it is. That was a fucking embarrassment. That was some of the biggest, that was some bullshit that happened today. It was a shitty game all the way around. And the Tennessee Titans looked like some absolute, they looked like shit. Every last one of them. They look like a team that probably won't win no more than 7 games, if they're lucky, playing like this. An absolutely embarrassing performance. Defense allowed 2 60-yard plays, and that's what did it to you. Barkley's long run led to a touchdown. Shepard gets a long deep pass. Fulton doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, doesn't look for his man, looking at Daniel Jones instead. And I know there's going to be some people that's not liking what I'm saying, but I told y'all in my video from the stadium, I said, if you're expecting me to be a fanboy talking about, oh, we got 17 more games to go, it's going to be okay. It's just one game. You know, don't give up so quickly. And I'm not. But, hey, we'll get them next time. Shut that shit up. I don't want to hear it because that's not what we're going to do. Truth is going to be told here today. And the fact of the matter is, that was a shitty-ass football performance. We looked like what the New York Giants were supposed to look like. We looked like one of the worst teams in the NFL. We probably were in the same position as the New York Jets. And the Jets got beat down, the Cardinals got beat down, and we played worse than those teams. And that's just it. That's just the truth. We sucked yesterday in the second half. First drive came out a absolutely beautiful first drive. Defense played well in the first half. Things were going good. Now, there were a couple of situations that, you know, the throw to Henry on third down, which, again, we're going to get to that. That led to a field goal instead of a touchdown where you could have had, you should have been up like 17 or 21-0 before the half. You should have been killing this team. And instead, you just left that door open and let the Giants just creep right on in and steal this game from you. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And Chris Frey said, that's happened when you trade AJ. Well, we had some bad games with AJ too. No doubt about it. And again, there's some problems with that. Says, by the way, Titans -1 in turnover margin. I thought we were +1 because offense didn't turn the ball over. And I'm going to take a look at that. But I thought we were +1 on the turnovers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Sorry, Lee. Yeah, 615, we're +1 on the turnover margin. Well, I guess that's a good thing. Not really. But the fact of the matter is, it was a disgrace. The run defense, which was supposed to be elite, you were number 2 in the league against the run, and you couldn't hold off Saquon Barkley. You let Saquon Barkley burn you. You let Daniel freaking Jones beat you. Absolutely pathetic. And while we're talking about some of this bad stuff, here is the awful, and there's a lot. Who do we put the blame on for this loss? Because, and before, you know what? Let me mention this before we get to the awful. Remember, by 4 points to victory, I said, let the king dog eat. He ate some in the first half. They really didn't let him eat in the second half. 21 carries, 82 yards. Not great. Established Burks and Hooper as go-to weapons. They did not. They established Phillips as one, and they just, again, love to go to Jeff Swain. So both of those points did not go well. Sacks by committee, that one actually worked. That one actually went well. We got 5 sacks. 2 from Weaver, 2 from Simmons, 1 from Bud Dupree. Caleb Farley making some type of impact. He really didn't. But I don't think he was horrible. But didn't really make much of an impact. So, oh my God, it's a lot to go into. Give me just a second, y'all. Whew. Sorry about that, y'all. Now, you probably might hear a little fan in the background. It was getting a little warm. So, you know, probably me being as upset as I am, I think I need to cool off, but we ain't going to cool off. Because, I mean, here's the problem. The awful. Mike Vrabel coached a horrible game. He got thoroughly outcoached by Brian Dable. What was one of the problems that we had? Coaching. And it starts with Vrabel. When they say got to play better, do better, and all that, yeah, Vrabel is at fault for this loss. This is all on Vrabel. Vrabel did not do a good job managing the clock at the end of the game, and we're going to talk about that. You know, he did not have his team prepared to play in the second half. They did not adjust well. And, you know, we know he's the reigning coach of the year. And sometimes he can be cocky. He can be a little bit arrogant, you know. And I don't like that because he acts like he knows everything. He thinks he knows it all. And that we, you, myself, act like we don't know nothing. But obviously, didn't coach very well. Didn't have this team prepared. Didn't adjust in the second half because you knew the Giants were going to make some adjustments. There were some terrible play calls, and it all falls on the shoulder of Vrabel. Downing. Todd Downing Todd Downing fucking sucks. Let's just call it what it is. Downing. And I know there's a lot of people that want Downing fired. Myself included. Pig Wiggle. Anybody else hyperventilate after the game? I was just stunned. I was stunned. And I know Ms. Mims was upset. I think we all were. Dumb jerk Downing. I agree. And a lot of people are talking about fire Todd Downing. I will not disagree with you. I will not disagree with you. Downing freaking sucks. And Amy, I am going to sign that petition at some point. He said a lot of boos as Russell Wilson took the field. Man crush Monday on Swain. No, I think all of them do. And that is coaching malpractice that Jeff Swain got that many snaps. So, I mean, Todd Downing, some of the play calls was just bad. I mean, some of the formations. Whenever you see a double tight set and you got one receiver, you know most likely that's going to be a run. And you know it's most likely going to be a run when that one receiver is Cody Hollister. Like, why was Hollister even getting any snaps? But yet, Burks and Robert Woods couldn't get no snaps. Couldn't get no snaps at all. And I mean, all skill players. Guess who had the most snaps? Jeff Swain had the most offensive snaps of any skill player. Of all the skill players, Jeff Swain had more snaps than Derrick Henry, Nick Westbrook-Akina, Robert Woods, Austin Hooper. He had almost as many snaps as Austin Hooper and Chigakonkwo combined. He basically had almost more snaps than Kyle Phillips and Treylon Burks combined. That is ridiculous that he had that many snaps. Jeff Swain had 44 snaps. Derrick Henry had 42. Robert Woods had 41, but only had 2 targets. Austin Hooper, 37 snaps, 1 target. Burks, 22 snaps, 5 targets. Absolutely pathetic coaching malpractice that Jeff Swain was in as much as he was. That formation, and you got Cody Hollister in there, and I mean, oh my God, that was pathetic. Cody Hollister got 8 snaps. He got just as many snaps as Chigakonkwo did. 8. I would have said it would have been cool if Cody may have had maybe 1 or 2. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Cody Hollister had a nice catch on the sideline. But the fact that he got 8 snaps and Burks and all them couldn't get many more, absolutely pathetic. I mean, just awful malpractice. Predictable, play calling. On first down, a lot of people Buck Rising, a lot of people, myself included, and I believe somebody said on the comment was that didn't use the pass to set up the run. I know somebody said that. I'm trying to see if I can find it. It was somewhere early, but exactly. You should have used the pass to set up the run instead of just trying to run, and set up a pass. And if you're going to do that, you're going to have to give Robert Woods more than 2 targets. On first down, on 11 drives that they had, out of 11 drives, their first play of the drive, 9 times were runs. Delay handoff, run to the left, pickup of 2. Delay handoff, run to the right, pickup of 1. First play of the game, toss to Henry, pickup of 1, or no gain. Just absolutely predictable by Todd Downing. And sometimes he has been known to go away from what works. He does that. And then, along with that, what the hell is their problem on 3rd and short? 3rd and short should be easy to convert. And these fucking dumbasses think it was a good idea on 3rd and 1. You got Derrick Henry in the backfield on 1 to do an end around to Chig late in the game. You give it to Derrick Henry, let him pick up the 1 yard, and you keep going. Just stupidity. Or as Ryback would say, the wrestler, stupid. Stupid. By that. Downing tries to get too cute, and he outcoaches himself. I pay to see Downing in Truth in the Cage match. You better put your money on me, because I'd whoop his ass. I would literally whoop his ass. And I would have fun doing it. It was absolutely a disgusting disgrace of a performance. And I'm going back to read some of y'all comments. I'm definitely talking facts. No lie there. Should have kept A.J. Brown. I said it on the draft show. I'm not one of these guys that said that was like, saying, you know what, I'm okay with them trading A.J. Brown, and now saying they shouldn't have did it. I've been stuck on that the whole time. Preston Cooper comes in. Exactly. They were the same old Titans yesterday. That's exactly what they were yesterday. The same old Titans, the same old dumb shit. That's what they were doing. I mean, I told a guy sitting behind me, 106 to go, tie ball game, or no, we were down 21-20. All I kept thinking to myself is, I get this feeling of deja vu. Like, I feel like I've been here before. Like, I've read this story. I feel like, haven't I seen this movie before? And it played exactly out the way that would have done. We lose on a field goal that wasn't made by Randy Bullock. And all over the NFL, kickers were missing kicks. So I'm not really mad at Randy Bullock, although he should have made that kick. He shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. And Jamie Leah says it was the start of preseason game. Now time to make corrections. Here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that comment. And Jamie, I appreciate you commenting. You had all training camp to get this right. Everybody, Buck Rising, Robbie Rexroad, Jared, all of them have said it. You've been practicing 2-minute drills all training camp for these situations. and you don't make third and shorts, which is pathetic. 3 of 11 on third down, pretty bad, if you ask me. And then on the last drive of the game, you got a chance to win this game. Good drive, getting it all the way down. And I'm thinking, okay, I think they got a penalty or something. And I'm thinking, okay, you need to get about maybe 20 more yards. I think they were like at the 48, 47 yard line. So they got to about the 27. I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Kyle Phillips catches the pass out of bounds. I'm like, okay. Now, there's a couple of things you could have did there. You either run the play, get a little bit closer, or you take some shots at the end zone. You take a shot at the end zone. You go ahead and try to win the game. No killer instinct. I agree. Mr. Wrong says, tell him. Darren Robinson says, keep it real. And that's what I'm doing. If you don't like it, I'm so sorry for you. Jermaine said, we haven't been able to rarely score 20 points since 2020. It's like 20 is the magic number. Quan is right. Yep, poorest in the second half. Run defense scares me. I agree. It don't matter about turnover ratio if you can't stop nobody. True. Terry Young says Todd Downing. Darren Robinson says Downing and Vrabel. Downing. I mean, I can't disagree. Defense was the best part of the day. Game planning and coaching staff let us down. Defense didn't look too hot in the second half either. Here goes 615 says, New York Giants said acknowledge me. No, I will not acknowledge. Because they won the game. Whoop-de-doo. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to them. I don't care. Good luck, as Stephen A. Smith would say. Jay says it's about to be a long season. If they keep playing like they did yesterday, you're darn right it is. We just abandoned what was working in the first half. And again, that is typical Todd Downing. Todd Downing tends to go away from what works. RBI Sports says, I believe Brewer single-handedly put the nail in the coffin. Holding penalties truly ended using Henry when he was just beginning to get on a roll. That prevented a TD and changed the offensive strategy. On one of the drives, I think it did. On the second drive, on the second holding penalty, it didn't because they still scored a touchdown out of it, I believe, to Hilliard. I believe Hilliard got in. So one of his holding calls did prevent a score. The other did not. Darren Robinson says, cool down. I'm sorry. I ain't cooling down for shit. I ain't cooling down for nobody. I'm fired up. I've been fired up since yesterday. And I would have been a hell of a lot worse if I had did this post game last night. I would have been a whole hell of a lot worse. I guarantee you that. Philip Madden says, they're not Downing but Vrabel. He's the coach of the year, but he's not an X's and O's. He doesn't make second half adjustments. It's Vrabel's offensive concept. That's awful. I've been saying he's not that guy. But here's the problem, Philip, and you got some points. Who was calling the plays? Vrabel wasn't calling the plays. Todd Downing was. He called the plays. Now, Vrabel should have made some adjustments. I agree. But Downing was making the calls. And then you get that pass to Kyle Phillips, 18 seconds to go. What the hell was going on with the communication between the coaches and Tannehill that forced us to use a timeout on a dead ball? Phillips got out of bounds. 18 seconds to go. The clock is not moving. The play clock is. And they wait until like 8 or 9 seconds to go on the play clock before they break the huddle and try to get in formation. Like they had no idea what they wanted to do. And I mean, that cost us a lot. Because instead, you could have either took a shot at the end zone or you could have ran Henry to the right or whatever hash mark you wanted Barkley on, that Barkley wanted on. You could have ran some plays. You could have ran one, maybe two plays, and then called your timeout. Or you could have ran a play with Henry to the right or whatever, timeout. You probably would have had about maybe 10 seconds to go. You could have took a shot at the end zone to see if you could have gotten in there. And if you don't, throw it out of bounds, kick the field goal, let's go home. So, and Vrabel say he's going to die on the Downing Hill. And I will say this, Vrabel is putting himself in Mike Mularkey territory. Y'all remember how that worked out? Mike Mularkey went and fought. Everybody was saying, fire Terry Robisky, fire Terry Robusky. He sucks. He's out of touch, archaic, almost 1930s offense. Everybody was saying, get rid of Terry Robusky. And Mike Mularkey would not do it. J-Rob probably went to him and said, look, you need to get rid of Terry Robisky. We got to make some changes. And Mike Mularkey said no, and that's why he got fired. If Vrabel is doing the same thing, J-Rob will fire Mike Vrabel. I understand they're boys, but J-Rob is going to understand, look, you're not going to cost me my job because of your stupid assistant coaches not knowing what the hell to do. And Quan saying, if Randy makes that kick, it's a different story. In theory, yes, because we would have won. But I will tell y'all right now, and I put it on Facebook, I said I was not happy with either side of the ball. I would still be mad and upset even if we had won. I would have been upset because it should never have gotten into that situation. And that's what I'm saying. You had 18 seconds to go. You could have took a shot at the end zone. If you take a shot at the end zone and you get it 27-21, probably with about 4 or 5 seconds to go, and the Giants ain't gonna be able to score no 80-yard touchdown like that in that situation. Billy Man said we looked exactly how we left off last year. True. I agree. It definitely looked like that. And like I said, I would still been mad even if we had won. Because I thought there were some things that was just bad. I probably wouldn't be as pissed off, but I still would not have been happy. It would have been like when the Titans beat the Cleveland Browns 9-6. I don't know if y'all remember that show. If you go back in the logs of my show, I was not happy with that victory. That was not a good situation. Lou Joel says, Mularkey Robisky 2.0. Sure is. And the fact of the matter is, it just seemed like they don't want to, they're saying, well, we try to spread the ball around. We try to find an open man and all this and that. Bullshit. When you got a killer, you get that guy the ball. Now, I think Kyle Phillips started to kind of emerge a little bit, but I didn't like the fact they didn't try to. It's like they won't force feed the ball to nobody. In Philly, Jalen Hurts got A.J. Brown the ball. Joe Burrow, who is he always looking to first? Jamar Chase. Kirk Cousins, who is he always looking to? Justin Jefferson. Derek Carr with the Raiders, who is he going to be looking to first? Devontae Adams. He's going to look to those guys first. Always. Because he knows those guys are going to be the real effing deal. He knows that. So the fact of the matter is, there's no excuse that Burks only got 5 targets, 3 catches. No excuse that Bobby Trees only got 2 targets and 1 catch. No excuse that Austin Hooper did not even get targeted until the end of the game. I'm like, all I kept thinking is, why is Hooper not in the game? Why is Hooper not being targeted? I have no idea. Yes, the division, that decision was on Robinson. Exactly. They shouldn't have traded him. Hollister looked all right. I mean, yes, for the 8 snaps he was in the game, which shouldn't have been that. And don't want to play him. Exactly. And don't want to give him the ball. That was my problem with Julio Jones last year. Throw the man the damn ball. Bobby Trees, Traylon Burks, throw the man the damn ball. It ain't that hard. It is simple. And Todd Downing acts like it is so damn hard to go get your playmakers the ball. We have nobody that scares a defense. You got 2 great safeties you're playing next week in Poyer and Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. They are not afraid of our offense. That Buffalo Bill defense is probably salivating right now. I am just beyond sick. And Philip Maddox with Super Chat, I appreciate it. Heavy 2 tight end, 2001 Charlie White's offense and playing 10 yards off the ball on defense. That's Titans football. Vrabel needs a reality check. I mean, that's what it seemed like. And I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm missing a lot of comments. I'm going back, getting through them, because I know some of y'all are bringing the heat. Yeah. If Hollister's out right, more than likely it's a run. They feel like Burks, Woods, NWI wouldn't get it done. I don't know. Quan said, was Robert Woods getting doubled? Nobody was getting doubled. Baby Burks was. I could run this offense better. I think a lot of us could. I think anybody can coach better than Downing. I mean, there are probably some worse offensive coordinators out there, but Todd Downing, pretty bad. RBI Sports, he a Bengals fan. I appreciate that. I feel worse because my Bengals lost because we lost our center and couldn't kick an extra point. Both my teams flat out blew their games away. And RBI, stay tuned for the Truth League report. I'm definitely going to talk about that game. We actually did use the pass up to run the first half. Then we went to sleep. Or go for a quarterback sneak on that 3rd down. Exactly. Feed the king. That is easy. Since City Tight said, preach truth, hand the ball to Henry. Does anyone think he would pick up that 1 yard? I mean, yes. Everybody knows that he would pick up that 1 yard. And it is a slap to the face. Shouldn't be week 1 to make corrections. That's why I don't get why starters don't play in the preseason. And that's another thing. I know a lot of people talk about, we don't want to play starters because you don't want them to get hurt. Injuries happen at any point in time. Can happen to anybody. Take a look at the Pittsburgh. We lost Harold Landry in practice last week. Take a look at the Steelers. The Steelers might have lost TJ, the Steelers might have lost their best pass rusher for the year with a torn pectoral muscle, and TJ Watt. He's out for the year. Dak Prescott in Dallas might have a broken thumb on his throwing hand. He's going to probably be out at least the next 6 to 8 weeks. Injuries will happen in any part. It doesn't matter if it's preseason or week 1 of the regular season or week 18. Injuries are going to happen. And we could be looking at 0-2. You are definitely right. We play like this against the Bills are going to kill us. And I know there's a lot of fans ready to turn their backs on the Titans. I ask that you don't. I've already heard from quite a few who want to, who already have. And I get it. You're sick and tired of the same old Titans. So am I. And I'm going to ride this baby out because, I mean, hey, I've been with them for over 20-some years, and, you know, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be a season ticket holder with all this because, I mean, being down here in Memphis and I have to travel up, but, hey, do what we have to do. Refs were trash. That's why I was going to put Booger was terrible, but that goes without saying. That's basically, we all know that. That's really nothing new. Now, Ms. Bibb said they could have kept Arthur Smith. Here's the problem with that. Yes, theoretically they could have. But if another team comes offering you a head coaching job, 9 times out of 10, you're going to take it. And Arthur Smith absolutely deserved that opportunity. I will never talk bad about Arthur Smith not getting an opportunity to be a head coach because he did deserve that shot. And again, thank you again for the super chat, Philip. I appreciate that. But it was basically same old Titans. It came back. Buckeye DK, what's up with you? Dion's at run, pass. That was what was happening. Titan Rossi, what's up with you, man? Downey's got to go. I agree. I appreciate everybody being here. If you're in here watching right now, please, everybody, go give a like to the channel. Also, super chats, again, are appreciated. You'll be helping me as far as keeping the show going because I'm thinking about getting some new equipment. I think I'm going to try to get a new headset for the live watch party this week coming up. And speaking of which, shout out to the Titans fan club of Memphis for their support and everything. I definitely do appreciate them. And I just got an announcement to make. And we're going to keep going with this, but we're talking about this disgraceful performance that we saw. This disgustingly awful performance that we saw from the Tennessee Titans. And I mean, if you were there, it's like you can't make this up. All I kept thinking was I in the Twilight Zone? And the answer, did that really happen? And the answer is yes, it did happen. Again, y'all, I will be live in Memphis at El Toro Loco, Mexican restaurant, next Monday night. I will be doing the Truth League report before I do the pregame from El Toro Loco. So I'm probably going to get to El Toro Loco probably around maybe around 5 o'clock. I'm going to be there. I'm going to try to do it, probably before 5. I'm going to try to be there set up, do a Truth League report before I do the pregame. Pregame will probably be about 5:45, about 30 minutes before kickoff, and then we'll get ready for Titans Bills. And unless the Titans play better than they did yesterday, this could, I hate to say this, it could be a massacre. It could be a bloodbath next week. And I don't, Derek Roberts, I appreciate that. I mean, I'm still gonna use this. But I'm gonna get another one, hopefully where the mic is here, kind of take away some of the sound in the background. And that was another thing I thought about. Buckeye, I appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all, Quan. I appreciate that for True Energy. Man, thank y'all for the super chats. I appreciate that. That's the thing. Buckeye DK. If this keeps going like this, even though Tannehill didn't do too bad, the Willis chants are going to get loud. It's going to get louder and louder and louder. And everybody's going to be like, if we start off 0-3 or 1-4, everybody going to be like, put the kid in. I'm definitely trying to power through, Torch. Marjo says, got burned a couple of times. He got to be better. I mean, I agree. And Buckeye DK, I appreciate you. And your Buckeyes let me down last week. Y'all should have crushed Notre Dame. I would have won a bet if they had just beat the hell out of Notre Dame, and they didn't. Landon says people who pick up and leave are not emotionally invested. And that's one other thing. Life of the Titans fan. Same old Titans. They never made it easy. They always want to make it hard. They want to make it hard. They want to just, it's like they never want to win the easy way. They never just want to go out, take care of business, and win the game. They never want to do that. And it just infuriates me that they do that kind of shit. It infuriates me with that. They never want to win easy. They never want to win easy. They always want to win the hard way. And it's pathetic. I'm like, can we have a day where you go out and beat the hell out of a team 31-10 and we know it's convincing? Or beat a team 24-14 and you kind of put the game away early in the second half? And Tice Torch, everybody else is right. We lose embarrassingly to the Giants, and then we'll probably go and beat the Bills. It's the Vrabel special. There are two sides to that. We beat the teams we're not supposed to beat, but we lose to the teams we're supposed to beat. Almost gave up over 200 yards. Yep. We love losing those gimme games. And I mean, I get it. It's the NFL. It's the NFL. No game is going to be easy. Ask the Cincinnati Bengals. Ask the Indianapolis Colts. Ask the San Francisco 49ers. No game in the NFL is easy. So I just said, why'd I put Willis in on 3rd and 1? Because they probably don't want to risk it. Although, I mean, a lot of people saying the NFL want the storyline Giants to win on 9/11. Look, I understand it's 9/11. We honoring first responders, police, firefighters, stuff like that. 9/11 had nothing to do with this game. And I mean, and again, I will say this. Shout out to all the first responders out there. Shout out to all the police. Shout out to all the firefighters. Shout out to the military. Thank you for what y'all do. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you to all of the first responders and medical personnel, nurses, doctors, for all that y'all do for all of us. The sacrifices you guys make. Thank you for that. So I give it up for 9/11. No doubt about it. So, again, just an awful, awful performance. And I mean, never make it easy. Take your BP meds. I'm on blood pressure medication right now. Take it every day. And for stuff like this, that's why I take it. Did anyone notice Arthur Smith running more spread and pistol offense with Mariota? You know, I didn't get a chance to go back and watch that game. I thought it was going to be pretty good, but I didn't get a chance to go back and watch it. I didn't get the chance to go back and watch it and everything, but I'm going to have to check it out. Basically, what Vrabel doesn't use. I agree. If they're not going to get rid of Downing, we're all going to be upset. You ain't lying. Going to need to beat the Bills in order to heal from the playoff loss and this game. And that's going to ask a whole lot. That's asking a lot. I know we had almost 40 people in here right now, and I appreciate everybody. Kern would have gotten a hold down better. I don't think they had anything to do with it. Kane 317, what's up, Bob? Blue 5. Game was disappointing. We have some good young talent. We may be 0-3, but once they get all going on the same page we had, we will be hard to beat. I mean, this is probably why they should have thought about playing a little bit in the preseason. I mean, hey, they didn't call that PI. That's true. But this is the life of a Titans fan, y'all. This is the life. Nothing ever seems to be able to go our way recently. Bills, Broncos playing right now. Broncos, Seahawks are playing. And so we'll definitely talk about that. But definitely going to get ready to do a quick Truth League report. So y'all come on over for that. Going to talk about some of the other games that happen around the league. Talk a little bit about Broncos, Seahawks, a little bit and everything. But I just had to let that out. I mean, I'm disgusted, extremely disappointed, embarrassed for what happened. And I do not have a good feeling about this Buffalo game, but we will talk about it on Wednesday. Give me y'all thoughts. What did y'all think of my rant? Was I telling the truth or not? Let me know in the comments, because if you felt that I wasn't telling the truth, I don't really care if you thought I was or wasn't. But I appreciate the comment and your support anyway. And for anybody out there that thought that I'm being too hard on the team right now, if you're hearing this, all I got to say is this. Shut your pie hole, because you know the truth. And the truth is, the Tennessee Titans stunk on the field yesterday. They stunk. It was bad. It was horrible. And we all know it. And if you thought otherwise, something is wrong with you. And again, y'all, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, smash that like button for me as well. And remember, all of this is going to be out on all your podcast platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts as well. Of course, again, I thank all of y'all for tuning in to the show. I like Weaver too. I really like Weaver as well. Yeah. I told y'all I was coming with the fire. And the fact that Bullock missed the kick sucked, but I saw like Boswell missed the kick for Pittsburgh. McPherson had a chance to win the game for the Bengals, missed badly, and got one blocked. And he's supposed to be very sure-footed. So a lot of kickers, Riley Patterson, a former Memphis kicker, missed a kick as well. So there were a lot of missed kicks by kickers yesterday. So that much is a fact. So as I would say, I said my piece, drop mic. RBI says different atmosphere in here. I mean, that's just what it is. No more Mr. Nice Guy. The truth will set you free. And the truth is coming. That's why I wear this on my head. Titans and truth. Truth is the key word. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sit here and be a fanboy. If the Titans suck, I'm going to say it. And it is what it is. But y'all, thank y'all for tuning into the show. I appreciate y'all. Come on over. We're going to start Truth League Report in just a moment. I'm going to give you my top 5 games, and I'm going to give you my top 5 ballers from this week's games. So definitely tune into that. And, we're definitely going to have a very good time there. So thank y'all for tuning in to the show. My name is Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, The Truth. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Super chats again have been appreciated. Thank y'all. If you haven't caught the show, catch it on the podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, Apple, or back on YouTube. And I will see y'all. The Truth League Report is next. And I will also see y'all on Wednesday for TNT tonight. Thank y'all. Good night. Tighten up, because that's all we know how to do.